Unafraid Show, Reister or Wrong. It's your boy George Reister here. Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate your time, your energy as usual. We got some great things on track for you guys today, and this is the Unafraid Show, where you get the truth, the way, and the light. We're going to tell it like it is, have honest conversations, and if you see hashtag SYT, that means you can tell people to save your tears. Like, we don't want to hear you crying and complaining about open, honest discussion. It's real up in here in the Unafraid Show. As always, please make sure you like the feed, share the feed, tell a friend about the Unafraid Show, and email your questions, unafraidshow@gmail.com. We are getting closer and closer to the new Unafraid Show website coming out. Tons of information going to be out there every single day, hitting it hard on all these topics. I am so happy that all this stuff is coming up today. Well, coming up soon. But what we got on track for you guys today is this. Colin Kaepernick is back in the news again, but this time because he tweeted a picture about Jackie Robinson. And also, the Starbucks boycott is going on. And I'm going to tell you guys why you should not be boycotting Starbucks at this point in time. Maybe later, but not right now. It's time to call off the dogs. And if they don't act right, then guess what? Then you can call them back on. And also, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 100% in trouble with the Indiana Pacers in this series. I said it all along, and this is the truth. So we're going to start with Colin Kaep. Oh, sorry. Actually, we're going to start with the Starbucks boycott. I'm going to tell you guys why you should not be boycotting Starbucks. Okay, let's put it like this. Let's reset the story a little bit. Two black men were sitting in Starbucks, and they were arrested for suspicion of trespassing in Pennsylvania. And now everybody's calling for a boycott of Starbucks. But what happened immediately after? Starbucks CEO, he immediately apologized, blah, 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 as people usually do. But what did he turn around and do after that, which is the most important? He didn't just fire the store manager who called the police, which that would have just been passing the buck in the situation and just say, oh, there's this bad person, one bad person working in all the Starbucks, one biased person working in all the Starbucks. That we got rid of the problem. No, their CEO said that it's his fault and that they have to change the way that they do business and their policies of addressing people in stores and all of that. And that is the most important thing that you can get from a protest, because you always have to remember this, because there's a lot of times that people protest things. People have asked me, what exactly does Black Lives Matter want? What exactly do they want? Because I don't know. See, here's this. You have to have a goal. You have to have a clear, concise message. And in this case, with Starbucks, change has happened. Change is right before our eyes. Their CEO is changing the way that they do business. What more can you ask for? Because we as a people, we as black people want change, want things to change. And when you get things to change, you got to appreciate it, because what you did actually worked. And then take the win and applaud them. Applaud them for actually doing something for a change to make a change. That's the important thing that you got to pay attention to with Starbucks, because they didn't just fire somebody. They could have just fired somebody. But what did they do? They said, we're going to change the way we do business here at Starbucks. CEO took responsibility. It kind of equates to the killing of unarmed black men by police. It's not just the fact that black men are killed by the police. Unarmed black men are killed by the police. It's the injustice that follows that makes people the most angry. It's not just the fact that the people are killed, because that's wrong. It's the fact that people turn around, that the justice system doesn't turn around and put cops pretending to be, murderers, pretending to be good police officers in jail for their crimes. And now with Starbucks, they're actually doing something about this. So I will applaud them. So therefore, I will not be boycotting Starbucks. However, if it's all lip service, what their CEO said, guess what? I'm in on the boycott. Actually do something. So, and the fact that the man actually looks like he's attempting to do something, you know what? I can applaud you for that. I can give you a big high five for that, dude. Yeah, and of course, I agree with you, David Parker. Get a list of updates and make sure that they are held accountable. That way you don't have to boycott. Because the whole point of a boycott is to get change, not just to be angry. And in Starbucks' case, change appears to be coming. So you have to take the change and accept the change. So that's why I say don't boycott Starbucks. Don't boycott Starbucks anymore for now. How about that? Is that a better way to say it? You guys are watching The Unafraid Show. George Reister here. Please make sure you like the feed. Share the feed with a friend. The Unafraid Show. Another thing that kind of ties into this is how is Jackie Robinson. So Jackie Robinson said these words. I cannot stand and sing the anthem. I cannot salute the flag. I know that I'm a black man in a white world. Okay. The reason why I bring this up is because Colin Kaepernick tweeted this. And there's a lot of levels to this. Because my first question is going to be, well, actually, that'll be my last question, is how Colin Kaepernick will be remembered. You know, because we just had Jackie Robinson Day yesterday in the big leagues. Everybody wears 42. No names on the back of the jersey. His jersey is retired. The number 42 is retired in every single stadium. So it's a big deal, right? I mean, it's just like where people forget that he was offending people during the time. They didn't want they didn't want Jackie Robinson to be playing in the big leagues. They didn't want that. It disturbed the peace in the country. They're like, oh, why are you making a big fuss? Why are you making a big deal? Because it matters to people. So in the moment, Colin Kaepernick may not seem like a hero to some. He may seem like a person who's stirring stuff up, just a rabble-rouser, making things more difficult, hurting race relations out in the country. That's what they'll tell you, but that's not the truth. That's not the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that history looks at you differently. After you're dead, it looks at you differently 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years later. Because look at the next guy, Muhammad Ali. He was called a draft dodger. People hated Muhammad Ali while he was fighting. And then all of a sudden, he's appreciated later on for his humanitarian efforts, bringing people together, crossing color lines. You cannot forget these things, that it doesn't always look pretty and tied up in a bow in the moment, because it makes people uncomfortable when you disturb their peace and want them to see something out in the country that they don't want to see. I had a guy tweet me today. He said, you know what? I am going to make sure. Sorry. He said he's a corrections officer. Sorry, I got sidetracked. He said he's a corrections officer, and he hears people in the corrections, people of color in the jail call him cracker, tell him they're going to do something to his white wife and all of these things. And my thing was, and his whole point was that racism goes both ways. It's out in the world. It's equal and all of these things. And I was just like, not really though. Not really though. Like, we have to be honest about things. And there are white people who are discriminated against, all of these things. But when you look at what guys like Jackie Robinson, Ali, Kaepernick are going through to help other people, it's phenomenal. Just to think that, like, too soon that we forget that, like, how people in the past disturbed the country. Think about Martin Luther King. I heard somebody say a couple weeks ago, oh, Martin Luther King, he was nonviolent. He didn't disturb anything. Why do people have to be so divisive? No, in the 60s, Martin Luther King was looked at as the most dangerous man in America by the government. So we can't deny that. And when you look at athletes willing to stand up on the forefront of things, you have to applaud those people. And even more than that, somebody who's willing to have the courage to stand up and fight for what's right for everybody else, despite being blackballed, despite being in Jackie Robinson's case, people hitting him with pitches, not being able to stay in hotels. Well, George, how about it's a different time, it's a different day. Jackie Robinson said that it's a different age. Yes, you are 100% right. Racism in 2018 does not look the same way as it did in 1945, in 1965, in 1975, in 1985. It looks completely different because you can't just stand out in the mountaintops and just say, oh, hate these coloreds, hate these coloreds. You can't do that. You can't lynch people out in the street anymore. So what do? You don't give people jobs. You use your influence to make sure that certain people stay on top, because it's important. It's amazing that how not just white people, it's true in other cultures as well. Black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, whatever. When somebody is living amongst you and you feel like you're at the top of the food chain, equality at times can feel like oppression. Think about that. Equality at times can feel like oppression. If you're used to favoritism, that equality can feel like, hold up, you're holding me down right now. You're holding me down because I'm not getting my usual benefits, my usual standard, my usual what I'm accustomed to. You got to get that point. And so the question is, where will Kaepernick be remembered? Where will he be remembered? Will he be remembered as just a guy? You know what I mean? Will he be remembered as somebody who was truly impactful? Because some of our greatest players don't have a whole lot of impact off the field. I mean, yes, you're great on the field, but if you don't reach back and help people, either where you came from or people out in the world, then you haven't really done very much. Michael Jordan, he's given away a lot of money, like especially lately to the community, to the police officers and community relations, all that stuff. Applaud him for that. But Michael Jordan won't be remembered at this point in time for how much he helped society. No, he changed it in terms of style, fashion, the Jordan brand. People got to have his shoes, all of that. People will remember him for that. But what will his impact be? I submit to you that I think that Colin Kaepernick's impact on the world will be greater than Michael Jordan's by the time it's all said and done. Unless Michael Jordan steps up and does something completely different. It's not a knock on Michael Jordan. He just took a different route. He did something different. But you have to applaud the guy who's willing to stand up and take all the arrows and darts at him. That way, one day, this thing that even Jackie Robinson said, which had him looking like a pariah at the time. Because I know we see 42 and it looks all glamorous, like Jackie just rode away into the sun and just, it was all great and rainbows and kittens. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was more like Jesse Owens in Race. To where, in the movie Race, to where you come back home, Olympic champion, country hero, still got to go in the back door. It's kind of like that. The last thing we got up for today is the NBA playoffs. I know some of you LeBron sexuals are going to be upset with me. I don't mean that as a diss. But some of you guys are way, way, way too deeply indebted and too entrenched in Michael Jordan's well-being. I mean Michael Jordan, in LeBron James's well-being. Like, you guys cannot see the forest for the trees. And I'm telling you right now, the Cavaliers are in trouble. The Cavaliers are in big trouble versus the Indiana Pacers. I mean, I enjoy watching LeBron play. I do not want him to lose in the first round. Like, that does me no good. Because LeBron is great to talk about. He's fun to talk about. So I don't want them to lose, but you have to be honest. They are not exactly in the best position at this point in time because the Indiana Pacers are here to play ball. And all year I've been saying it. If you do not play defense, like the Cleveland Cavaliers are not playing defense, you are going to lose. And the biggest problem, the Cavaliers need two things to fix their situation. Just two. Just two things to fix what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number one and most importantly, they need a better coach. Tyronn Lue plays LeBron way too many minutes. Played him 44 minutes. I know LeBron doesn't want to go out of the game and all this stuff. But look at other superstars on other teams, historically the greatest players. Their coach can sit them on the bench. Popovich can sit Tim Duncan down. Phil Jackson can sit Kobe and Shaq down. You mean that Tyronn Lue can't even tell LeBron, you know what? Listen, man, you're only playing 40 minutes today. Like, sit your ass down. We're trying to win a game. Can't have you out here spent and tired. So that's the first thing. They need a better coach to run a better offensive system because of the second reason. The second reason is LeBron has to have a willingness to be coached by a top-notch coach and adapt to playing off the ball more. And the reason why that's important is this. Because I've been saying it for years. LeBron does not make the better players around him better. He makes the guys who are fringe NBA players, specialty players like three-point shooters, catch and shoot guys, Kyle Korvers, like that of the world better. However, you're going to see guys like Rodney Hood who won't thrive in a system playing with him. J.R. Smith, who used to go to the rack all the time, has all the bunnies in the world. Doesn't do it anymore because he's relegated to being a three-point shooter. Kevin Love, same thing. Destroyed his game playing with LeBron. Yeah, he gets wide open three-pointers, but Kevin Love is a 25-12 guy getting touches in the post. Kevin Love only took 2 shots in the game, in game 1, that were not three-pointers. And you guys wonder why the Cavs can't score when LeBron's not on the court. Because the system they run, LeBron facilitates all offense. You cannot have that and have a successful team. It just doesn't work like that. But LeBron needs more help, George. I'm telling you, LeBron needs more help. You can keep telling me that, but then history says superstars do not get excuses. Michael Jordan doesn't get excuses. Kobe Bryant damn sure doesn't get excuses. Magic Johnson didn't get excuses. Isaiah Thomas didn't get excuses. But LeBron James, year in and year out, he needs more help. No matter who's on his team. Even when he was playing with Bosh and Wade, he needs more help. Every year you need more help. Like, how on earth? Like, it's so crazy because I like LeBron. But it infuriates me how much and how many excuses people build in for this man. Like, at what point in time can we just say, you know what? He's a really good player, but he's not getting it done right now. He's got to do better. At what point in time can we say that and really be honest about it and not be hating? I mean, come on. And I'm telling you, Victor Oladipo, roll tide high. That's funny. Victor Oladipo and the Pacers, they're out to play. They're out to play, and Victor Oladipo is completely underrated. I was wrong about the kid. I thought he was a decent number 2. Didn't think he could lead a team. But if he can come out and play, not even just as good as he did, but even close, they can and may beat the Cavaliers. I said that this was their worst matchup if they wanted to play anybody else except for Indiana, they would have even played Philadelphia because Philadelphia is without Joel Embiid right now. They would have happily played them. But this Pacers team, they're mad. They got blowing in your ear Lance Stevenson. This is a problem. And the Cavaliers in game 2, this is a must win. Telling you. If they lose game 2, they might go down in 5. I'm telling you. Also, what else so the Cavaliers are done. But you guys, thank you guys. Oh, well, yeah, I would totally agree that Lance is just a head case. But at the same time, the dude is good. The dude is fun. Dude is fun to watch. Thank you guys for joining me today. We had an abbreviated, unafraid show today. Thank you guys for your time, for your energy, and for supporting the Unafraid Show. Tell a friend about the Unafraid Show. Like the feed, share the feed, swipe up, send your hearts, all them things, and download the podcast if you missed any of this or started all over, because it'd be the best part of your day. Appreciate it. Catch you guys tomorrow.